Wow, wow, wow. Man, y'all know me and John only tape on Sundays. And so I really can't do my on screen videos like I would want to. But man, I got some text messages from Timmy Ru because he's all in his feelings. Because he's saying that me, James, and his sister is messing up his bag. Because he's out here trying to do interviews to get back. But he gonna get all his in feelings and start sending me threatening text messages. Oh wow. He must forget what bear he's poking. But y'all know I'm not, and I've never been a guy to go and do any harm to anybody. I never been that guy. But this is for the losers parts, guys, so they can remember. And I know they probably forgot about this because most of them too young and don't even know why the mob and the looters have a war with each other. Just so y'all know why y'all out there risking your lives, going back and forth between each other after Buntry death. This is the reason why that y'all got this war going on. Just had to remind people. Because it's a nigga that's running around there thinking he gonna threaten me. Y'all forget it. I know all the berries where all the bodies are buried. I know everybody's skeletons. Just a little tap. Oh yeah, and that story about the guns and the arrest, it'll be addressed. Because I know a lot of y'all want to know why the police called the police, which is funny to me. But there's a reason. There's a reason. But it'll be addressed. For those of y'all that can't wait, go listen to the story when I had to respond to Big Cass. And that should give you a hint to why the police were called on those two guys when they came to the studio. I done talked about 4 or 5 people that was there that I know was there. And Timmy lying ass wasn't even there that day. He wasn't even there. Or definitely wasn't there when those niggas was disarmed. But story be told. Story be told. For those that y'all don't believe me, just look up the lawsuit. What's the lawsuit on it? Me and Suge got a $165,000 judgment behind it. Did they ever mention a little black guy? All right, I'm talking too much. But this is for people know why y'all at war. Just to remind people. Because I'm sure Gangster Snail probably never heard this, huh? Don't play with me, Timmy. Leave me alone.
You were the one that conducted the raids on the Death Row Records office in November 2002.
A warrant was also served at Suge Knight's homes in Las Vegas and in Malibu.
Locations from LA
In
to
all,
Vegas.
early this morning, 24 sheriff's SWAT officers converged on the Beverly Hills Death Row Records headquarters, now called The Row. Detectives made a point of saying Suge Knight himself at this point is not a murder
Investigators
suspect.
say Knight is not a suspect.
Can you tell me what that was in regards to and if you guys found whatever you guys were looking for at the time?
So in early 2002, there were several murders. Alton McDonald was killed in April in Compton. Alton was a member of the mob Pyru, and I'm sure you know he was Suge's right-hand man and bodyguard at the time. In June of 2002, there was another murder of a gentleman by the name of Scar, or Eric Daniels, in the Bullis Apartments in Compton. Eric Daniels was a Lueders Park gang member and was believed to have been responsible for the murder of Alton McDonald. Then there was some other shootings involved in and around Compton and Linwood area, and through a series of interviews with informants and information through Homicide Bureau, we developed enough to conduct the raids on Death Row, and I think we did about 18 search warrants that day on different locations.
Okay. And to my understanding, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but numerous death row employees got arrested. Can you let us know what they were arrested for?
Yeah, so the employees that were arrested were also members of the Mob Piru and were employees at Death Row Records. And I don't think I answered the rest of your question before, how we ended up going in there. One of the cars used in the Eric Daniels murder was a rental car, and we were able to track it back to Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and that car was rented to a Timothy McDonald, who was also an employee at Death Row Records at the time. The check that paid for the rental car came back from the Death Records account and was actually signed by Suge Knight. That's what led us into his business, all his homes, and the rest of the Mob Piru gang members that were employed there.
Interesting. Okay. Is it true that you investigated a couple of individuals, Timmy Ru and Biggie, who were allegedly caught in the act of doing a drive-by? Can you explain what happened there?
Yeah, so Henry Smith, Hen Dog, was shot and killed over in Denver Lane's gang territory on the west side of LA. And at the time I was working South LA Station or Lenox Station, and those two, Biggie and Timmy Ru, were arrested they were about to do a drive-by, and deputies rolled up behind them and pulled them over and arrested them with a gun.
Were either of them prosecuted for that?
Yes, they were.
Okay. Going back to the murder of Buntry, I know this is going to sound crazy, but people on the internet say crazy things. To the best of your ability, was Reggie Wright Sr. With Buntry when he got killed?
I've never heard that.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Right. The vehicle he was registered to, that he was driving when he was shot, was Reggie Jr. I don't know if that's where the confusion came, but I don't believe Jr. was in the car either at that time.